with this Tesco restoration. Such a cool guitar. I really love the design. I love everything about it. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull off the pick guard and we're going to see what we've got under here. Okay, let's pull this up, see what we got here. Oh. So the pick guard is attached by one ground wire. Let's just get that off. There we go. So that's what we've got underneath. This is our switch here. Actually, the soldering here is quite good. It's very good here too. We've got our little pots here, which are 500 kilo ohms. Wow, okay. And a little capacitor. But they're looking quite corroded, so I think I'll replace the pots at least. Let's get a reference for this wiring here, so we can see how everything connects. This is a little repairer's trick. I've set up my two pots in the vise at exactly the same distance as the pots are going to be in the pick guard, and then I just keep the pick guard there as a reference for the pots while I work on them. So this tells me I need to bend this one back here and join it up. Then this one also gets bent back here. Okay, just one wire left. We're good to go. We are all installed. A slightly neater job than the stuff that was there before. Okay, so now I'm just going to give the pick guard a bit of a clean with naphtha. I'm not going to polish it because I don't want to lose all of the patina, but I'll take off some of the basic grime. Now, having a look at the cavity, I've noticed that there's a lot of extra work that's been done, so it's not original. Originally I wasn't going to shield this, but on reflection I may as well. I've got some shielding paint here and I'll just put a quick coat inside. Time to put this beast back together and let's see what we've got. So now the guitar's all strung up, the electronics work, it's great, and it's simply time to just give it a basic fret level. Now the frets are fundamentally fine because the neck is level and the frets have just been installed, but I like to give them a really good level to make sure that there's absolutely no string buzz. So in order to do that, I use this thing, the Katana. I did a review video on this a few years ago, and I've been using this thing for ages. And what it is basically a leveling bar which will very slightly adjust to give relief based on the neck curve. It's a very small amount, and if you use it properly, what you wind up is a tiny amount of neck relief sanded in, plus essentially a kind of compound radius on the frets. And so it's a really fantastic thing. It's very easily misunderstood. Some people think it's like a boomerang and you're sanding in a huge curve, but that's not what's happening at all. Okay, so we put this in, and the neck is cut gently in the palm, and we simply work along the frets. Now normally I tape off the pickups, but I don't need to worry because this is stainless steel and it's not going to stick to the magnets. Okay, so far the action is very nice. It's not much to do. It's a very small amount of work with this tool. The key to this tool, and of course really to any fret work, is very much subtlety. It's not going over the top, not filing away too much, not being crazy about how much you want to remove. So it's very easy when you're starting out to want to take off too much. That's not what you need at all. You just want to sand in your recurve, and unlike the founder of this tool, a fantastic guy called David Bissely, I like to create a very, very small fall off at the back here. So I put a little bit of back pressure here on these last frets, but that's just me. Everyone's different. You know, with a tool like this, what happens is as you use it over time, you become very, very familiar with its ins and outs and how it works for you. So when I first started using it, I got good results, but they've gotten better and better over the years, the more I've learned to use it. So for fret dressing, I like to use a diamond file. I simply put on a guard, give my fret some swipes, and put in the profile. I go in and just, after the diamond file, I'm going with 1000 grit sandpaper. This is Scotch-Brite 7448 MP. Finally, metal polish. On it goes, leaving a really lovely looking fret. Now our frets are all polished up. Just add a little bit of lemon oil. Just give our board a final polish before everything goes back on. And we're done. Okay, let's see what we've got here. So it's a really interesting guitar. Basically you've got 3 pickups. So if I do this, there's no sound coming out of the guitar. But then this gives this pickup kind of a spanky sound. Then this pickup, a lot more mids, and that's quite a nice sound up there. Now, of course, you combine them. That, for example, is neck and bridge, and then when we add in the middle, it rounds out the sound really nicely. And then this weird switch here, I don't know what it is. It kind of makes a distorted sound. Maybe it just makes a direct output. This is a muted output and a direct output. I'm not really sure. So, much louder. Here, bit of a beast. Really cool. But the sound I like the most is actually this, or this. So the switch down and these 2 pickups, and it gives a really nice kind of now the frets have no problems. So there's no fret out at all, there are no real issues here. The guitar just, it works great, it plays really well, the action is now nice and low, the neck is perfect. It's a really fantastic guitar, and I really, really love this tremolo system. So smooth. A couple of tricks that I did on this guitar just to make life a little bit easier for me. With the bridge here, it's got 4 screws, and they're fine, they allow you to adjust the bridge, but they do rattle ever so slightly unless you've got them exactly perfectly adjusted, and a little knock and they go out. So what I did was I simply put a dab of super glue underneath to hold them in place once I got them where I wanted. That can easily be removed with acetone, or simply turn them and it'll go away, but it stops the rattling. And the other thing that I did here, tightening up the tone arm. Oh, and in the bridge here, it's got these positions for saddles where you kind of got this multi-position. What I did was I used a nut file, and I simply put in a slightly deeper slot once I worked out the string placement I wanted. So basically the whole guitar, it just plays really, really well. Let's just try it. Let's set up a loop.
you.